Do not obey. Zombie talk. I've seen some fish you cannot explain. What's up, guys? It's me, Do Not Obey, and let's get into a quick video. Now, we're talking about love spells. I'm going to go ahead and say it, and I'm probably going to say it at the end because I think I already have. Now, I don't believe in doing love spells. I don't believe in messing with and forcing things to happen. I believe that I would feel ashamed to force somebody to love me, but I do still feel that a lot of people that I've encountered have actually been under love spells, and I'm pretty sure maybe once or twice in my life unintentionally it could have been possible I could have manifested one that backfired. Also, one or many could have been done on me. But not, it's just, I don't know how to explain it, okay? So I did record this video earlier today. Me and my son were outside. He's going to be in the background. There's going to be some noise, but I want to go ahead and get this video out. So I hope you guys do enjoy. Let's roll.
Roll today. Somebody just submitted this one to me, and this one is good. I can't believe you guys are this unhinged. Let's get into the story time. This one is T. We're gonna call this guy Andre. Andre was the one who submitted this story to me, and Andre's Jamaican. So Andre was in a relationship with this girl, and they had a very tumultuous relationship. That means for whatever reason the relationship was always toxic. It seemed like they were always getting together and breaking up, getting together and breaking up. Until one day Andre was like, I really cannot take this no more. I really want out of this relationship. I want nothing to do with this. He said that a couple months went by, and one day he just felt the urge to just get back together with the girl, so he did. He said that he would later find out that this girl was into some dark shit. Unbeknownst to him, this girl had other plans. She was tired of the back and forth. So after they got back together, Andre said that they always had like a super close best friend relationship where they could tell each other anything. So one day, as a joke, she winds up saying something along the lines of, for a second there, I was scared. I didn't think my stuff was working. I didn't think it worked. I didn't think I was going to get you back. So then Andre asked her, like, what do you mean by that? And she said, as a joke, what if I did Obia on you and that's why you're here? As a joke, though. They both laughed about it and moved on. He also mentioned that upon them getting back together, she was really, really pushy in terms of sex. He said that he was never the type of dude to run a red light, okay? But one day, during that time of the month for his girl, she really wanted to do it. And she convinced him, and they did it. Keep in mind that this girl had already met Andre's parents, and Andre mentioned that his mother never liked his girlfriend. But Jamaican parents are hard to please. One day, the mom came up to him and said, son, I had a dream. Like, I really don't like that girl, I had a dream that your grandmother came to me and told me that she was working Obia on you. Do what you want with that information, but I don't think you should stay with her. Andre is a spiritual dude. But he's like, Obia? I don't know. So he decides to go home, and he sat his girlfriend down and started by saying, I know what you've been doing to me, just to see if she would say anything. He said that my mother came up to me and said that she had a dream, and went on to tell her what the mother's dream was. And he said, well, does that sound familiar? And homegirl would say, okay, so now here's the tea. She said during one of their back and forth, she said that, she read somewhere that blood is a very powerful ingredient to binding. And mirrors are also very powerful magic tools. So she thought, why don't I just combine both? She said that one day, she missed him so much that she wrote his name in blood in the mirror, and she stood in front of it and summoned him. She was also saying affirmation like, you're obsessed with me, you want me, you love me, you can't leave me alone. She said she didn't think it would work because she had only did it once, and it took him a while to get to her, to get back together with her. And she also brought up that time that they did it while she was on her. He said he was utterly disgusted that she would even do something like that. He said he left. He said he did a cleanse on one of the beaches. He wore all white and then walked into the water, dunked his head to try to cleanse himself and get rid of her energy or her spirit around. Well, he successfully stayed away from her. But she, on the other hand, cannot leave that man alone. He says that this girl is literally obsessed with him, like showing up to his house, obsessed with him, get cussed out by his family, and still comes back because she wants the man that bad. She told him that if he doesn't get back together with her, that she will unalive herself. And she attempted. Her family found her, took her to the hospital. And when she came back home from the hospital, guess who was the first person she went to go see? Andre. And Andre says that it's gotten to the point where she done fought his mama. It's gotten to the point where she done fought his mama, his sister, his cousin. She done got jumped. And that girl don't care. She want that man. He says that she doesn't present as a physical threat to him, but he's definitely afraid for the ladies around him because she has also showed up to his dates, sat on top of his car, and refused to get off the car because he was with another woman. And yeah, now he's thinking about moving because he cannot get rid of her. And the craziest thing is he didn't do nothing. She was trying to get him to be obsessed with her, but some way, somehow, I never heard this before, but a Uno reverse happened and she winded up being the obsessed one. My mother told me never be desperate enough for love that you do a love spell on somebody, and this is why. We're gonna call this woman Yoli, and we're gonna call her boyfriend Mark. So Yoli was in love with Mark, okay? There's nothing that Yoli was not willing to do for this man. That was her man, that was her person. Like, she would go to bat for Mark. Like, she would take a bullet for Mark. However, it just wasn't reciprocated. Now, keep in mind, this story took place in Haiti. And if you know anything about Haitian men, like, I'm not going to say too much, but, like, they be having, like, 10 different families. So, needless to say, that Mark had these little things on the side, and Mark was...
Crazy how she said she ain't going to say too much, but she done told everything, y'all.
Definitely dragging Yoli through the mud. And if you know anything else about Haitian women, we love a good gossip. So all the other women from the neighborhood would just watch how Yoli and Mark move about and just go gossip about her behind her back. And Yoli, being aware of this fact, was just honestly dying from embarrassment. Not only is it embarrassing that everybody else has this image of her, but it's also embarrassing that she knows that she loves this man and there's not a thing that she's not willing to do for him. So why isn't it reciprocated? It's a weird juxtaposition of siding with everybody else but wanting to stay with that person. One day Mark comes home and Mark tells Yoli that, yo, basically, like, I'm not gonna lie, you're great, but like, we're gonna have to part our ways. Needless to say, Yoli didn't take it very well because they were still living together, right? Until Yoli got the brilliant idea. So Yoli decides, I shot this part so many times and my TikTok just keeps fucking up. So she decides, she goes to the priest and she tells him that she wants a love spell done on Mark. And the voodoo priest is like, okay, but just so you know, this is what it would entail. This potion that he was about to give her, which included her blood, by the way, which was what did the binding, right?
And I want y'all to listen up very closely to what she's about to get ready to say, because this is actually how a lot of these things take place, man, especially when you talk about dealing with people who may have abandonment issues, so on and so forth, to the point where they feel like they just can't take losing another person in their life, right? That they know that's bringing some form of stability, whether it's mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, or whatever, y'all. They will go to this extent. And because you don't see this inside of your world, you're not vibrating at that frequency, it can easily be overlooked. You see what I'm saying? Because you like who takes the time out to actually go to a practitioner to try to get something to keep a person under the spell? But you don't know. This could be in some way, form, or fashion like a trend or something. That's not a trend, but like more so like a ritual that she does, maybe like a routine. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to certain relationships, because of some form of abandonment. And I'm not just pointing at the goddesses, I'm pointing at the gods as well. It could be some type of, routine that they do because, they have certain abandonment issues that they have not gotten over.
Keep that in mind. So this potion, once you feed it to Mark, would last for the next 6 months. After those 6 months, you don't even want to wait for those 6 months to be up because you need to come back before those 6 months are up, get you another potion, and feed it to Mark because you do not want to reap the consequences of your own actions of putting a love spell on somebody. Mark became a new man, so much so that the entire neighborhood even starts to notice, and they even start to talk about it. Like, what is going on? Didn't Mark really not care for Yoli like that? Like, why are they all buddy-buddy now? Okay, we here for it though. For the first 6 months, it is as though Mark made a complete 180. Like, he was a completely new man. He was a family-oriented man. He even got Yoli pregnant and proposed to her in that time. Yoli, being a fan of this potion, said, well, I'm not waiting for my 6 months to come up. I'm going back now and I'm getting some more. So she went back and she got another potion before the 6 months was up and fed it again to Mark to, ensure longevity in this princess treatment that she was getting. So Mark has no idea that he's under a spell, that anything is being done to him. Like, he is living his life regularly. Keep in mind, when you go to a voodoo priest and they do these services for you guys, this is not cheap, okay? So you actually have to come out of pocket and pay a ton of money to cover your life like this. Yoli had an amazing year, okay? She had an amazing year with Mark. She was now pregnant. She was ready to start her life with her man until finances hit. Meaning that Yoli can't afford to go to the voodoo priest again to get a new potion. So, her thinking, this is probably just a marketing scheme anyway that the voodoo priest told her, so she can keep coming back and keep spending her money, because it's been a whole year and her man was sweet. So she said, I ain't going back, I'm not spending my money again. So, the year went on, the potion wore off, and child, Mark was back. When the spell wore off of Mark, now, trigger warning, DV. When that spell wore off, it is as though all of the love and all of the adoration that Mark had for Yoli over that year, all of it turned into hate, but tenfold. One day, Mark woke up and he hated Yoli. So it started off pretty slow. So, domestic violence. So now Mark is an extremely violent man. So Mark is whooping Yoli's every chance he gets. So now Yoli has found herself in an extremely abusive relationship that she wasn't even in before. And keep in mind, she's with child. Verbal abuse, physical abuse, she was dealing with all of it. Mark also became just an angry individual just in his regular life. He was very short-fused and very short-tempered with people in general. He seemed to have no sympathy for even the baby that Yoli seemed to be carrying for him. So Yoli decides to go back to the priest and get yet another dose and goes back home and feeds it to Mark. Except this time she didn't get the princess treatment that she got the first time. She got Mark being extremely in love with her, but the abuse was still there. If not, it was worse. Yoli could not get away from this man. And it's damned if you do and damned if you don't, because in 6 months, when this new potion wears off, what will become of Mark? And if she doesn't do it, what will become of her? So it's kind of like, does she get another potion just to keep him sweet so she can stay alive? Or does she just lean him off? Like, what to do?
A girl was unalived by a narcissist after she put a love spell on him. I guess her and this dude had been on and off for some time, and she finally stressed to him that she wanted a serious relationship with him. After they had done this and that together, she was just tired of the BS, but of course, like any other narcissist, he gave her some BS excuses and brushed her off. She kept begging him, and he just wasn't going for it, so she decided to look up some love spells. She found one and she did it on him. 2 or 3 days went by and nothing was happening, so she just thought it didn't work and went on about her life, forgetting that she did the spell. After some time, he hits her up talking about he misses her, blah blah, but because they had been on and off and she forgot about the spell, she didn't think anything of it. Again, some time goes by and he starts acting really crazy and jealous towards her, telling her that she better not be giving it to anyone else, and just things coming out of anger and jealousy, which she was confused about because he had never acted this way towards her. He never cared if there was anyone else. After some time of him acting like this, I guess she just tells him that she did a love spell on him, and maybe that's why he's been acting this way. I'm guessing her neighbors in her apartment heard this interaction and heard the man telling her, oh, so a love spell, huh? Then he proceeds to pew her and unaliving her, leaving her 2 kids behind. This is why I always stress to never do a love spell on someone that is not meant for you. He had already stressed to her multiple times that he did not want her like that, and she took it upon herself to put a love spell on him, and it backfired so bad that he ended up unaliving her.
I actually think she already knows, and I think that's part of the reason why she's getting them to begin with, but follow me here. What I'm about to say is purely my opinion, speculation, allegations, whatever you want to call it. But what I think has happened is that she did a love spell on Blueface before, probably initially when they met early on, something like that. And that love spell backfired. That's why we see her have the behavior that she has. She goes from these 2 completely different extremes, right? there's one extreme of being completely done with him. She don't want to deal with him no more. You know, it's F him, name the baby her junior. You know, she gonna raise him by herself, to tattooing his face on her face again. From getting the biggest piece covered up of him on her neck to getting another face. From being so done with him and moving into her own, you know, not wanting to deal with him no more, to moving back into his place. Like, I think that actually was a love spell that she did on him, and it backfired. And that's why we see her having the obsession that she has with him. And the thing is, each tattoo is just going to make it worse and worse. And now they brought a child involved into the situation. And listen, having a child with a karmic partner is not easy, period. Let me be the first one to tell you.
And I'll be the second, baby.
And I did not have the type of relationship that these people have.
Neither did I. And I left. That's just what I do. Just
had kids with a karmic. And I can tell you, ooh, baby, may the force be with her.
Imagine casting a love spell on a fucking narcissist and this man end up unaliving you. So y'all, I'm finna give y'all a story time on how this girl ended up losing her life all because she wanted this man to fall in love with her. So first thing first, they worked at the same facility together or whatever. And the girl had just started, I think the man, he was there for like probably 2 or 3 years or whatever. So when she came, they placed her in the department with him or whatever. So I guess he was her like trainer. They was like machine operators or whatever. So he was her trainer. He was showing her how to do the ropes and stuff like that to work in the machine. So, you know, as time go on, you know what I'm saying, they chilling. Y'all know how it is when you in a set with a man and stuff like that, and then you end up talking to the man and yada, 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 and then go from there. But from the get-go, I don't think the man was looking for no relationship, and I don't think the girl was looking for no relationship either. But somehow she ended up catching feelings for him, and he was only trying to... So... after months and months of them talking or whatever, she came to him and she was just like, you know, I want to pursue a relationship. Like, where we stand at this point, because we've been talking for a long time. We done messed around, you know, we did this, we did that. So, like, what's up? So, I don't think he was feeling a relationship. I think he was, like, in and out with his baby mama or whatever situation he had going on the side. But I know he wasn't really into her. He was just trying to mess around with the girl. And then, y'all, he used to try to, like, manipulate this girl. He used to, like, lead her on, love bomb her. You know, it was always one-sided with him. So she was just like, enough is enough, you know what I'm saying? I'm tired of playing games with you. So she laid her foot down. Basically, she was just like, you know, it is what it is. If we're going to be together, we're going to be together. We not, then just leave me the fuck alone. But somehow, I don't know, this girl could not fucking get over him. And then what's so crazy is this man knew that this girl felt some type of way. And he just wouldn't leave her alone for shit. Like, if you don't like the girl, you don't want to fuck with the girl, why you want to just leave her alone? That's what I didn't understand. So then, y'all, they stopped talking for like a minute. Probably like, I ain't gonna say a minute. They probably stopped talking for like a week or two. And they working in the same set, but they wasn't talking. Like, at this point, she know what she doing and stuff like that. So she don't have to talk to him. So, you know, somehow they end up talking. I think he ended up texting her or whatever. I don't know. But somehow they end up talking, start back talking or whatever. And... you know, it was like on the same shit. Like, it's like they never fucking left off. The conversation picked up as if they never got into it. They never had the conversation about her trying to pursue a relationship. None of that. They just picked up where it left off, and she never did bring it back up or nothing like that for a long time. So then months and months go by, they back messing around, they back, you know, flirting and all this other stuff. And then she brings up that she want a relationship again. And he just like, at this point, like, you know, I'm tired of you sitting up here every few weeks or whatever, you bringing up relationship and all this stuff like that. But he never did come direct and say, I don't want a relationship. He never did say, you know, I don't look at you like that. He never did say none of that. He led that girl on the whole time thinking that, okay, it's a possible chance that we can be together. But he never did tell her, like, he was indirect. Y'all know how narcissists is. So y'all, as time going on or whatever, you know, she was just like, okay, you know, they had started, like, I don't know, it's like they would talk and stuff like that, and they would get into it about the smallest shit. And I just feel like, sis, if y'all get into it about the smallest shit, that should tell you this man is not for you. Like, God is not gonna force nothing at all. But obviously she wanted to force it. So they stopped talking for like a month. But she couldn't get over this man for nothing. She kept thinking about him, you know, and it's kind of hard when you working with this person, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of understand that point. But she working with the man side by side every day. She have to look at this man that she done fell in love with, and this man don't look at her the same. After he done strung her along, he done love bumped her, he done told her this, told her that, and now y'all at this point. So y'all, one day, I don't know, something came across her news feed where it was like, I don't know, y'all know when y'all in a broken-hearted relationship and all this other shit that's like relatable to your situation start showing up on your news feed, whether it's Facebook, TikTok, whatever it is, it starts showing up on your news feed. She came across this little love spell, you know, how to get your man and all that. And maybe she was Googling this shit. She probably was Googling this shit. I wouldn't be surprised if she wasn't. So, y'all, this girl started doing her research on love spells. She was like, trying to see, like, you know, what could happen, you know, how crazy will people go behind a love spell. She just started doing her research about love spells or whatever. She got on TikTok. I think she watched a couple videos. I know she watched a couple videos because a couple of them she shared. So she started watching videos about, you know, the love spell and all this stuff like that. And y'all, every video that I saw that girl had watched or she shared or whatever, y'all, they was basically saying, like, don't do that. People have unalived their partner and this and that. You know, it's not that serious, all this stuff like that. But the girl was curious. She was curious as hell. That's why y'all got to be careful what the fuck y'all do and who the fuck y'all trying to attach to y'all. Because, baby, this shit is not no damn joke. But anyways, so she ended up doing it, y'all. She ended up doing it one night, and I think she was like, she didn't have no results the second or third night or whatever. Like a few nights she didn't have no results or whatever. So she was just like, fuck it, you know, she didn't believe in it. But then this man texted her out the blue. He texted her out the blue, and he was just like, I miss you. And he usually didn't text that, so she was like, damn, okay, you know, he you know, she didn't really think of the love spell either, y'all. She thought that it was just like a coincidence or some shit, like he just, you know, he just texted her because, like I said, y'all, they was on and off all the time, so she just looked at it like it was a normal routine with him. So, y'all, you know, they talking, everything going smooth and stuff like that, you know, for like a week or two. And then he just got to accuse her. Like I said, they work at the same facility or whatever. So he got to accusing her, like every time she would talk to another guy or whatever, or somebody would say hey to her, he was like, damn, you in everybody's face. Like he would just like make little smart ass comments, but he wasn't really just throwing himself out there to show that he's like he's jealous or something. I don't know. There's probably another terminology I could have used, but yeah, y'all know what the fuck I'm trying to say. But anyways, she was like explaining to him, she was like, you know, she kind of like, why you checking me? You ain't even my dude. Then when I tried to ask you about a relationship and stuff like that, you didn't even want a relationship and all this stuff like that. Mind y'all, I don't think this girl realized that love spell that she put on that man, it actually freaking worked. Okay. Imagine casting a love spell on a narcissist and he unalives you. Part 2. Now, first thing first, before I even start, I just want to say a lot of y'all under the comments talking about, oh, she got what she deserved and all this stuff like that. I agree, she shouldn't have did it, but I don't agree that she got what she deserved, because no person deserves to be unalived by another person. I feel like they both was in the wrong. She shouldn't have did what she did to him, and he shouldn't have killed her. This girl got 2 kids. I gotta understand, her youngest kid is 3 and her oldest is 5. And for the ones that saying that maybe he put the love spell on her first, I do agree. I completely agree. Because for some reason, she mentioned that she couldn't get over this man for nothing. No matter what she did, like she stopped talking to him, she was talking to other people, she couldn't get over this man for nothing. So 9 times out of 10, that sound like she was under the love spell too. She just kept saying that she kept thinking about him. She was having dreams about him. Like it was all the signs of, you know, her being under a love spell. Okay, let's finish the story. So, okay, like I said, they was at work or whatever. She was talking to this dude. I think this dude spoke to her. He was asking her something about the job. I don't know what they was talking about, but he came to her and he was like, damn, you in everybody's face. And, you know, she kind of brushed it off. She laughed and all this stuff like that. She was like, I thought you said you didn't want to pursue no relationship and stuff like that. Why you questioning me about who I'm talking to and all this stuff like that? Mind y'all, the way the girl was acting, you can kind of tell that she had forgot. I ain't gonna say she forgot about the love spell, but she probably felt like the love spell didn't work because, like I said, they was on and off, you know. So 9 times out of 10, she probably looked at it like, you know, he just probably checking in like he always do. So they go to their department or whatever, and he came up to her. He was asking her, like, what you and old dude was talking about, what y'all had going on. She was like, nothing, you know, we weren't really talking about nothing and stuff like that. She didn't really go further detail about what they talking about. She just said nothing to him, and he walked away. So she said when she looked up, he was giving her like an evil look. He was giving her like a real evil look, and it kind of scared her. So she went down there and she asked him, like, why you looking at me? You know, she was in a playful mode. She didn't like, she didn't think nothing of it, y'all. She didn't think nothing of it. She didn't think that I don't think she thought that the love spell worked, like I said. So he was just like, when she went down there and asked him why he was looking at her like that or whatever, he was like, why was you in dude's face? That's what I'm trying to understand. You ain't really asked me. You said it was nothing, but I'm trying to understand why you was in his face. And she saying the same stuff, like, why you questioning me and all this stuff like that. And he was just like, don't worry about it, whatever. So they had stopped talking. They left work. He texted her and he was like, you better not be talking to that dude that you was talking to at work. And she was like, that's crazy. And y'all, what's crazy? The girl, I don't know what's wrong with her, but she asked him again about a freaking relationship. And he now, one thing about it, the love spell, I don't know how the love spell works, but he still didn't want to pursue a relationship with her. But it's like he was like obsessed with her. He was trying to control her. He didn't want her talking to nobody else type stuff. So she goes home. Both of them go home or whatever. It's the end of the day. They go home. And she said bye to him. And he didn't say nothing to her. He didn't say nothing to her. He looking at her, you know, crazy and shit. Like, he basically was in zombie mode. I don't know how that shit go, y'all, but that shit is demonic as hell. It's like, I don't know, he changed his whole face structure and stuff like that when he saw her. Like, you know, he would be having a conversation, talking to somebody else, but it's like as soon as he laid eyes on her, it's like he would get in demonic mode. Like, he would just be so evil looking towards her. And she was like, she just didn't understand. So when she got home, she texted him and she was asking him like what all that was about, with you questioning me and you looking at me like that and all this stuff like that. And he was just telling her like, don't worry about it, you will see real soon, y'all. And I don't want to get emotional telling the story because the shit finna get deep as fuck. So y'all, at this point, they, like I said, they at home, they had went home or whatever, and I think they was out for the next 3 days. They was out for either the next 3 days or the next 4 days or whatever, I don't know. But he texted her and he asked her if he could see her that night. And she was like, yeah, come over and all that stuff like that. And she happy, you know, she not thinking nothing of it, y'all. You could tell this her first time doing some shit like this because she wasn't really playing her cards right. She wasn't cautious about nothing. So he came to her house, you know, he's sitting on the couch, they talking, you know, she offered him a drink and both of them smoke or whatever. She offered him to smoke. And he was like, nah, I don't want none of this shit. It's like he was just evil. He wanted to be in her presence, but it's like he had hate towards her or something. I don't know. It's crazy. But y'all, she said she was sitting on the couch when she offered him to drink and when she offered him to smoke with her. And y'all, he just got up and choked her. He choked her and he was just like looking dead in her eyes. The same evil look he gave her at work, the same evil look he gave her when he walked through the door. He just was looking at her eyes evil as fuck. And when he was choking her, he was just like, you better not give my shit away. You better not give my shit away to nobody. And she was just like, what the fuck is you talking about? Like, you hurting me and stuff like that. Like, get off of me, bro. You hurt me. And he just started laughing. And he went back to his normal self. Y'all. And he just was looking confused. She said he was looking confused. Like, he wasn't even aware of what he just did to her. So she had made up some excuse about her having to do something or whatever to the point where he had to leave or something like that. I don't know. I think she said she had to go pick up her child or something. I don't know. But he ended up leaving or whatever. And he texted her and he apologized to her about what he did. He was like, I'm sorry. I got too aggressive with you and all this stuff like that. So I want to let you know that I apologize. And she was like, oh, it's okay and stuff like that. She thought that shit was sweet. She thought like, oh, okay, you know, he protective of me, or, you know, he just crazy about me, you know. I don't know. But y'all, okay, so the way her house is set up, y'all, she keep her blinds open. She said she keep her blinds open all the time. You know, she sit on the couch, she smoke, she drink, you know, and she just sit on the couch and she vibe and stuff like that. She said for some reason she looking out the window and he passes by. And then she didn't really say nothing. She didn't think nothing of it because she's like, you know, in her head, she's like, that could have been anybody. You know, that could have been anybody. So I'm not just going to say that was him. That's in the back of her head. She thinking that. She didn't say that out loud, but she thinking that in the back of her head. Like, that could have been anybody. So then he comes back around, but this time he's blowing his horn. He blowing his horn hard as fuck. And she's just like, what the fuck? Like, you know, what's going on and shit like that. So she calls him. She like, did you just pass by my house? And all this stuff like that. And he just get the clicking on her like, yeah, bitch, it better not be nobody in there and all that stuff like that. I'm gonna come upstairs and beat that door down and beat you down and this and that. He just was threatening her left and right. It's like he would get aggressive with her and then he'll come back too. And he'll just be nice. Y'all, this shit is crazy as fuck. Like, this shit's scary. I'm trying not to cry and all this stuff like that. Cause baby, it gets deep. This man was in this girl bushes waiting on her. Like, he was in her bushes, under her steps, under her car, behind a fucking trash can. Y'all, it got so crazy. Like, he didn't even recognize himself, I don't think, because it's like it was like a switch. You know, one minute he was like real aggressive with her, then the next minute he like, damn, I apologize for what I did. I don't know what came over me and all this stuff like that. That damn love spell. But anyways, I know y'all tired of these parts, but bitch, I'm at work and I ain't losing my job for now one of you hoes. Alrighty, this is part 3 of casting a love spell on a narcissist and he unalives you. Okay, first thing first, if you haven't watched part 1, if you haven't watched part 2, I advise you to go do so you won't be confused on this story. Okay, so I believe we left off at the part where he pulled up to her house and he was blowing his horn and stuff like that, and then he called her, texted her and stuff like that, threatening her, talking about if he catch somebody in her house, he was gonna pew-poo her and he was gonna pew-poo whoever he called in the house. So y'all, at this point, this girl is scared. Why she didn't call the police right then, I don't know. But she was scared because she came to work the next day and she told me, she was like, if something ever happened to me, just know that that man is the one that did it to me. And as she was telling me everything that was going on, y'all, I told her she should go and talk to the police. I did. I told her she should go talk to the police. But she told me she didn't know if he was just talking or if he was just trying to scare her or what. But I left it at that because at the end of the day, she's a grown woman. You know what I'm saying? People gonna do what they want to do at the end of the day. Like, I advised her to go to the police. She didn't want to go to the police. It was what it was. So, y'all, it was the same routine with him. He would do something crazy or say something crazy to her, and then he'll come back and apologize. But at this point, she wasn't going for it. At this point, she's like fed up because she see that it's a constant cycle with him. So y'all, we get to work and they walking beside each other. I don't know if they had a conversation. She didn't tell me that they had no conversation or nothing like that, but she was walking beside him, y'all. The girl looked scared. He looked mad as hell. It was just, I don't know. They face expressions was like they had just gotten into it or something, but she didn't tell me that part, so I can't tell you on that part. So y'all, we ended up exchanging numbers that day. The day that she told me she was scared and she felt like he was gonna hurt her, we ended up exchanging numbers. Okay, so I don't know exactly what day this was, but it had to be the day that we was out because it was like 3 in the morning. She woke up because she heard some noise at her door. She didn't think nothing of it, so she didn't go to the door. She didn't ask who is it. She didn't like do nothing, but she knows she heard some noise at her door or whatever. So y'all, she tell me she was about to take her daughter to school, and this man was laying in front of her door. He didn't knock, he didn't call, he didn't text. Y'all know usually he would text and be like, can I come over, or you know, or something like that, or he'll either threaten her or something. But at this point, he popping up, not saying shit at this point. So she getting scared because it's like she don't know when he gonna pop out. You know what I'm saying? For him to be laying in front of her front door, he don't care who see her. Like, this girl got neighbors, so she know that it was like a problem. You know, like she knew it was something serious. So she asked him, like, as she was walking out the house, she was like, what are you doing? Why are you here? When did you get here? And he was acting as if he didn't even know that he was at her house. Like, he was acting like he was confused, like he didn't know what was going on. And she was just like, girl, it scared me because his face expression, you can tell his face expression was like, damn, I didn't even know I came over here. Like, what the fuck am I doing here? So, like I said, we exchanged numbers. So she told me this over the phone. And y'all, I'm telling this girl, I said, call the police. I said, girl, for him to be showing up at your house, that's something serious. Like, you need to call the police. I don't know what she was waiting on, y'all. Honestly, I don't know what this girl was waiting on, because it's so many signs that he was showing her that he's like, he's not there no more. He's not there. Like, I don't know, y'all. That spell took over that man. He was a whole different person. Like, she said he was never acting like this at first. Never. And I asked her about the love spell. And she was, y'all, she had forgotten that she even put that damn love spell. She did it. She was like, damn, I didn't know that shit had worked. And I'm just like, girl, you did that love spell on that man. That's probably why he acted the way he acted. And she was asking me what she need to do and all that stuff like that. We both was doing our research. I was trying to help her research some shit, but when I did my research, they basically saying like you have to call a psychic or something like that, where somebody have to put some herbs and stuff together. I don't know. It was just a whole lot of stuff. It was a phone number on there that she was trying to get in contact with or whatever, but they wanted her to pay and she didn't want to do that. So she just let it go home. So anyways, at this point, he's at her front door, just now waking up, looking confused as hell. So y'all, she telling him, you gotta go. You gotta go. I gotta take my kids to school. Like, what are you doing at my house? She said he didn't say nothing to her. He just walked off. He walked off. He got in his car and he left. She called him and asked him what was that about. He apologized again like he always did. He sent her a long ass message. I'm gonna read that message to y'all because she sent it to me right before she passed away. The message does have her name in it. I would not be saying her name for privacy purposes. I don't know, because her family probably don't even want this information out. That's why I'm not really just telling nobody who it is, because I don't know, the family might not want that out. So yeah. Let me go get my tablet and I'm gonna read y'all the message. Okay, so he texted her and he was like, Whitney, I do apologize for how I've been acting lately. I know I've been acting obsessive and possessive over you. I don't know what's coming over my body, but it's like my mindset is different. I don't know. I look at you different. I don't really know what's going on with me, but I just want you to know that I do apologize and I will seek help. That's what he texted her. She texted him and told him that she put a love spell on him, and that's probably the reason that he's acting crazy. And the moment she said that, it triggered him. It triggered him again. He came to her house. He knocked on her door. She didn't answer because she was not there. She was on her way to pick up her kids. When she came back, her and her kids was getting out the car. This man walked up to her and said, a love spell, huh? This is what the neighbors said. The neighbors said that they heard him say, a love spell, huh? And then, pew, 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 pew. That was the end of her. That was the end. And after that, pew. He took himself out. Family, if the family come across this video, y'all, this is not to drag her name. This is not to drag his name. This is just to let other females know and to be aware that that love spell stuff, casting spells and stuff on people is very, very dangerous. And y'all, honestly, I didn't even realize how dangerous it is. I didn't have my knowledge on how dangerous it was. I didn't even believe in that stuff. I didn't think that stuff was true for real. But I say this to say this, y'all gotta be careful. Don't force nothing, y'all. If that person is not feeling you, if that person don't want you, don't force nothing. Don't try to go put no spell on them, no rituals. Like, don't do that stuff, because it's not worth it. That shit, it never ends good. Somebody always end up getting unalived behind situations like that. And I be seeing a lot of people saying like, oh, females crazy, they do weird shit like that. It's not just females. I promise you, it's not just females. It's men out here that be casting spells on females as well. You just got to be cautious, y'all. You got to be cautious of who you let around you. You got to be cautious of what you do. That being said, y'all stay blessed.
Well, I just want to jump in here and just say, while editing this video yesterday, which would have been Friday, I was told through the grapevine that an ex-friend is collecting personal objects of men or whomever, putting them in mason jars and putting them in freezers and doing all these small little spells to keep men around her. And all I gotta say is, don't play with that stuff. There's a consequence, and it's not good. If somebody wants to be with you, they will be with you. But to force something against the universe, against nature, it's never going to end well. And it will, to me, honestly, backfire on the person that started it. Anyways, do not obey, guys. Stay the hell woke. Peace.